In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the new floating video feature that's available in Thrive Architect. Now, if you don't know what that floating video feature is, then let me show you a quick example. Keep a close watch on this video as I scroll down this sales page. Did you see it? Isn't that cool? Well, if you'd like to know how to do this, it's a lot simpler than it looks. And I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. So stick around. So here we are inside of Thrive Architect, and I'm going to use this sales page as an example. Now, this sales page is not very long. Typically, sales pages, especially in the Make Money Online niche, are very, very long. Okay, so the floating video would be very handy for those long form sales pages, because as people are scrolling down, they'll still be able to watch the video as they're going through the features, advantages, and benefits on that sales page. Okay, so how did I discover this? Well, I wanted to take a look at my video and edit my video, so I clicked on the video itself, and you can see right here it says the source is YouTube, so you can choose your source, you can input your URL, and you can do the normal things that you can do in Thrive Architect. But when I scroll down over here, I took a look down here, there's this thing called sticky float on scroll. So I'm like, what is it? So I toggled it on, and a whole set of menu options opened up. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to experiment and see what this thing can do. Okay, so you have a variety of options. Okay, you can cause the video to float top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, or keep it in its original position. You can change the size of the video when it's floating. You can change the padding options. You can even choose when you have the float option activated. Okay, now by default, Thrive turns off the mobile option, okay, because they feel that having a floating video on a mobile device will take up too much real estate. Okay, but you still can turn it on, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like so that you can determine whether or not you want to do it. Okay, and then they have this enable close button, which I'll demonstrate to you as well. This feature right here, the view floating video in preview, this is what I would probably activate first. Okay, so that way you can see everything as you are working on it. Now, this video is set to float on the top left. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. So you can see right over here. I like it to be in the bottom right, but I'm going to show you what everything looks like as you move it around. Okay, here's top right, bottom left, bottom right, and you can keep the original position. And what that is if you can see right here, this video is slightly off center. And what that will do is the video will float slightly off center. Okay, I happen to like it to be in the bottom right corner, so I'm going to keep it there. Now you can change the player width. Okay, so right now it's at 300 pixels, which is a really good size. So let's close this out. It's a really good size right now, and I'm probably going to keep it that way. But just to show you an example, okay, let's double the size here. Let's go 600 pixels. Okay, and you can see how big that is. Okay, it takes up some of the text, which is probably not good, but overall it's still a good size. Okay, it's very viewable. But I'm going to drop that back down to its default 300 pixel setting. You can also change the padding. Okay, so they've got padding for the bottom as well as the right side. Okay, and depending on where you position this video, the padding options will change. So if we go to bottom left, you'll notice that it's the bottom padding on float and the left padding on float. Okay, so every time you move it, those options will change. Okay, so these are very simple. Let's just do 100 and 100 just so you can see the difference here, and we'll close that out. So you can see how far in and far up that video is shown. Okay, so we're going to drop that back down to the original 25 and 25. Okay, and then when we get to this part where it says float on, okay, by default, again, it is available on the desktop as well as tablet. You can turn on the mobile setting. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on because I want to show you what that looks like. Okay, so let's go down here and let's take a look at what it looks like in the tablet version. Okay, so this is a simulator of what it would look like. And let's scroll down the page and see where that video ends up. Okay, you can see it goes into the bottom right corner. Still looks nice, still lots of real estate for me to read the sales page. Okay, and you can also, again, you can change the player width on float. So if I want to make this, 100, I can. It's very, very tiny, but I can make it maybe, let's say 250, okay? So that's a little bit better, all right, especially on a tablet. But I'm going to just set it back to 300 again, because I think that's still pretty good. Now let's go ahead and head over to the mobile version. And as you can see, the mobile version probably takes up about maybe a little over a quarter of this page, okay? So it doesn't default to the bottom right hand corner. It just takes up about a little over a quarter of the page, okay? And that's the reason why they decided to not add it in by default. But if you like the way that this looks, then go for it. You go for it and you customize it the way that you want. So let's go ahead and head back to our desktop version here, okay? There is an option here called Enable Close Button. Now, if I toggle that on, it shows this X over here, okay? And while someone's scrolling down the page, if they were to click on that X, what will happen is it will close the video. But what will happen also is that if they go to the top of the page and they scroll back down again because they want to see something else, that video will not float anymore, okay? So I'm going to show you an example of that, okay? So let's go ahead and let's save this work here. And then I'm going to open up this page in a new window. So let's go ahead and open up in an incognito window. Okay, so here's the page, okay? And as I scroll down, this video is going to float over to the bottom right corner, okay? So you can see that the video dropped down to the bottom right corner, and I'm going to click on the X, okay? And I want you to show you what happens after that, okay? So now I'm scrolling. Let's say I go back up and I want to read some of the bullet points here, but I want to scroll back down again. You notice that the video does not show up, okay? So that's one thing that's important to consider, right? Do you want that video you want to have that option where they can close out the video and never see it again? So you have to think about whether or not you want to toggle on that option. So that is how you use the floating video option. So there you have it, how to use the floating video feature in Thrive Architect. Let me know what you think. Is this something that you plan on using on your sales page or on your blog? Let me know by dropping a comment down below. Also, if you found this video to be useful, please give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Lastly, if you're looking to start building awesome landing pages, awesome websites, then click on the link below to sign up for your account with Thrive Architect today. This is Ken Furukawa from kenfurukawa.com, and I'll see you in my next video tutorial. Cheers.